Oh, it's so exhausting. It is so exhausting dealing with trolls. And you know what, guys? I've thought seriously about just turning the comments off. But fortunately, now I've been here long enough that most of the people that have come against me and lost because they're dumb, they don't understand that I tell the truth. And that's what's so telling about the people in the YouTube comments is it's just like I'm watching the Joe Rogan Donald Trump interview, 10 million views in 12 hours. Been watching that all morning. It is so amazing that, and the Bible's right. The Bible says that the evil in a man's heart. I'm gonna butcher the scripture, but good is evil and evil's good. So it's the evil in men's hearts that they expect the same evil out of other men. So now the news story is, because I don't have the body camera footage right now, and Mason is at his uncle's house for the weekend. His mom had her brother come pick him up that night after I got slammed in the driveway. Had him come pick him up right then and there because he was really upset and he was scared to be here. My son was scared to be in his own house because of what the cops did. He was scared to be in his own house. And to be honest, the last time I was kidnapped and put in the loony bin, it took me 8 months to get my comfortability in my own house back. And it's been a struggle the last 3 or 4 nights to sleep because of what happened. This is just the lights alone trigger my PTSD to the max, trigger it. But when I've got a terror pig at my house, you see, I've been pulled over 3, maybe 4 times in my driveway. How many people get pulled over in their driveway? That's strange to get pulled over in your driveway. And it isn't that I'll race home to my driveway. I'm always coming home. I don't go anywhere else. I leave home. I go do my business, and I come back home. I don't go anywhere else. I don't. I go run my errands, make my money, and come home. That's what I do. I don't stray. Well, let's go walk around the mall. No, I hate the mall. Let's go to Dick's Sporting Goods. I hate Dick's. Let's go to Academy Sports. No, I hate. I don't like going places. I don't like change. Being a targeted individual, I avoid everything. I have to avoid everything because there are people like that corrupt cop that pulled his shit in my driveway. And don't think for a second, well, it's just a random cop that saw my car. He was waiting for me to come by. Anyway, the people that have been with my channel long enough, you have seen the process in the state of North Carolina only of me getting body camera footage. How many times have I done? I've sued 6 or 7 times to get body camera footage. 6 or 7 different times. Let's see. This one right here, I think is from the... Was this the moped? I think this was the moped when me and Mason got pulled over on the moped. This one right here is, I think, from the trooper that pulled us over on 321. That's the trooper who pulled us over on 321. Let me see. I can't remember. It may be this one that came from... God, I don't know. It's been like 6 or 7, so I don't even know what that one's from. But 6 or 7, and I've got another one out there on the dash of my truck. It's in a red. It's a red one. Pat McCrory, governor 8 years ago, Republican governor, passed a law in North Carolina, and the law said that because he's a pro-cop, he wanted to protect and defend all cops because there were so many lawsuits coming out against cops that were beating people up, killing people, doing horrific things to people. So he made the process harder. He wanted to protect all these corrupt cops because he knew if the videos got out of what these cops were doing, it would outrage the public and he'd have to do something. So what did he do? He passed a law saying, oh no, you have to go to court and get a court order from a judge to get your body camera footage. Now, the trolls in the audience say, oh, you just make up excuse for everything. There ain't no body camera footage. Now, I can understand if somebody says, why don't you just have Mason's? Well, Mason's not here, and the file is too large for him to send it. So when Mason comes home tomorrow, I'll have the footage, and I'm going to talk to my lawyer to see if I need to release the footage or not. You see, because when you're in a legal battle, you consult your lawyer. My lawyer would already tell me, because I know she's been my lawyer before, and I know the best thing to do when you have a case in court is to shut your mouth. But I'm not smart in that regard, because I didn't resist arrest. I didn't. When you hear the body camera footage of that cop in front of the magistrate, The magistrate said, what did he do to resist? Well, when I told him to get out of the car, I had to tell him twice, and then I had to jerk him out the second time, and he looked me in the face. And I told him not to look me in the face. What people don't understand about law enforcement is a lawful order. What is a lawful order? An order for law enforcement means it is an order in law that he's providing to you. So when that cop was screaming at him and driver, shut up, you can't talk, be quiet, quit talking, and told Tina, you stop, you can't talk. Mason, you can't talk. He was telling everybody to shut up. At the magistrate's office, he kept telling me, just be quiet. But that's not a lawful order. I have a right to free speech. I have a right to talk. I can talk as much as I want to. And my resisting was my mouth. It wasn't my actions. I didn't physically resist him. Now, when you jerk me and I don't move fast, he's like, well, he was fidgeting. So when he jerked me and pulled my freaking arm out of socket, me fidgeting was me trying to get the goddamn handcuffs because it pinched a freaking nerve in my shoulder. It wasn't me pulling away. And then another one he said, well, he stiffened up. Wait a second. When you're pulling me off of my balance, because I don't have good balance at all. I do not have good balance at all. If I close my eyes right now, I will fall backwards. I've had so many concussions, so many, I don't want to say brain injuries because my brain has been injured, but not what you consider a brain injury, not the medical term of brain injury. But I've had so many concussions, so many car wrecks, so many bar brawls, so many times of getting hit in the head that it's kind of like shaken baby syndrome. I've got degenerative disc down my back. So physically, I look in good health. And overall, my immune system, my cardiovascular system, all that stuff's in good shape. But the body, my car engine's good, but my body's beat all to pieces with Bondo in it. So when you pull me one way, then my body's going to, because I've got to try to balance myself. So my resistance was, he stiffened up. This is resisting to him. And he was flinching. When you're assaulting me and jerking me around and my body doesn't move into places, I mean, that cop, when you have your handcuffs, when you're cuffed behind your back, that they teach cops the technique of pulling up on the handcuffs, and that means your body, your arms go up in the back and your head goes down. He got his shoulder, my handcuffs were on his shoulder, his arm up here in me. God dang, that hurts. So he had his hand on my shoulder and doing this right here and forcing me up while my shoulder's out of socket. And he's like, quit moving. How am I going to quit moving when you're trying to shove me in the freaking side of the car? So, okay, I'm getting excited. I gotta calm down. See, PTSD. Just think, I'm so freaking triggered. I am so goddamn triggered. Anyway, trolls. Body camera footage. In the state of North Carolina, you have to sue for body camera footage. Pat McCrory banned it in law because he wanted to protect the police. So he makes it harder on it. But it's not a hard process. Go to Lackluster Video and go to any of his North Carolina videos, and Lackluster will tell you in the state of North Carolina, he thinks you can't even get them. Okay? He says, oh yeah, you have to go and sue and do all this, that, and the other. Well, these guys aren't willing to put the time in it takes. And it is a hassle. You have to go to the clerk of court. And the first thing you do, you have to request. And I'm going to do this without exposing myself, but I'm probably going to expose myself here. Let me show you. Here you go. Petition for release of custodial law enforcement agency recording. 24 CVS 7848. Filed October 25th, yesterday in Catawba County. So in other words, this is the petition for the release of law enforcement. Now, in the state of North Carolina, what happens is, you get that right there. And I had to teach the girl yesterday. She'd never been done it before either. Why? Because normally lawyers will do these things. If you get a good enough lawyer that's willing to do it. But the public don't know the process, and even the clerks don't know it. It's like when I did the one in Caldwell County. They didn't know how to do it. And they denied me getting it. And I had to finally go straight to the DA. And the DA sent me and then told them, wait, you have to release this. It's the law. You have to release this to him. Let's see if the screen's pretty. That's a little better. Oh, God, that's so much better. So, you get that. You get it printed out. You make 4 copies. One goes to the clerk of court. And the clerk of court will send that to the superior court because the superior court judge is the only one that hears this. And superior court meaning that would be like in a civil trial for like judgments, liens, divorces. So it goes to the secretary of the superior court judge.
and then that secretary will put you on the docket. The other one goes to the district attorney, because the district attorney has to have someone from the state represent the state to fight this, and then another one goes to the holder of the information, which would be the Longview Police Department. So you send out 3 of these subpoenas. It is a subpoena. A petition is a subpoena. So you send 3 of these petitions to each office: DA, the clerk of court, which is the judge's courtroom, and to the police department that has the information. So that's just for the body camera, and that's for the dash camera. Now, I have to go Monday, and I'm trying to arrange, because the chief of police told me he didn't want me anywhere on the property. He said I'm extremely dangerous, extremely violent, and he's scared I'm going to kill somebody over there, when I've never threatened to kill anyone. I threatened to expose them for what they do. And that's why I was jumped in my driveway by Thug Life, the little short bearded one that wants to beat up on handcuffed men. Handcuffed disabled men, by the way. So now what I've got to do is I've got to serve this. Hopefully the captain will come. There's a captain. I've had a good rapport with him. He's always treated me fairly. He's always been kind of, I don't have a bad word to say about him. There was a time when I had a gang stalker sitting at the end of my driveway, just sitting there for 30 minutes, sitting there staring, looking up my driveway, recording, standing right there at the end of my driveway, recording my house. Tina's on the front porch, like, what's going on? And I called them, and the cop called him up there. As soon as I pick up the phone to call the cops, I wasn't in vision, but he got a call, and then that guy took off and went parked at the pawn shop. And the cops caught him there. They interviewed him, and he didn't really have an explanation what was going on. I actually recorded that. It was live. I recorded it on my YouTube channel. I don't know if it was on the other channel that got taken down, one of many that was taken down. Anyway, this guy, when that little surveillance bot was rolling around my house, and I put flour on the ducts of my house, and you can see the tire tracks. Sounds crazy, right? Because I'm just a freaking loon. I'm a tinfoil hat wearer, yet proving everything. He came in because they don't have an animal control in Longview, North Carolina. So he's always been kind. Even the night before that happened in my driveway, they were looking for a meth head that walked around the neighborhood screaming. And he talked to me then. I mean, he called me brother. I mean, that's just a kind term in the South. Anyway, so then I've got to go and I've got to request the salaries, the application, the training qualifications. I'm going to request everything I can on both the officers. I'm going to request any kind of their disciplinary file. And and North Carolina doesn't like to release disciplinary files, but I think it's pertinent to my case that if this guy's got a history of violence, then something needs to be done. Because think about this. In America, cops will kill you over a dead sticker on your tag. Cops will kill you over a seatbelt. Cops will kill you for a tag he claims he did not see on my truck. That's why I repeatedly said, well, you walk 2 feet back there and see my tag. The tag's on the truck. When he saw the tag come up. And even I told him that night, I said, dude, none of this had to happen. All you had to do was walk back there. I said, when you pull me over, you claim you didn't see my tag. I know you saw my tag, and you know you saw my tag. I said, but all you had to do, when you walked up in my driveway and you saw the tag, you should have come to the door and said, hey, I'm sorry, Mr. Townsend, because they know me. My truck is easy to spot. It's the only Blue Ranger with a camper top and a gray fender on the front. Mr. Townsend, I couldn't make out your plate, wasn't sure. I see it now. I'm going to go ahead and run it, make sure everything's good, and then we'll be fine. That's all that had to be done. But what happened? This cop is a crackhead. You know what a crackhead cop is? Crackhead cop. There's a lot of body language that a crackhead cop shows. One crackhead cop communication is this. You got your ID? Let me have your ID. So that's all he wanted. He knew who I was. They know who I am. As the chief said on video when he called me and threatened me, he said, me and my staff sit here and watch your videos. That's strange. What, you got time to sit there and watch YouTube during the day? Well, we're going to go through all your videos and find a crime. What's that called? That's called chilling my First Amendment activity. Chilling my speech by putting the fear in me that me talking is going to be a crime. That's a violation of my First Amendment speech. Okay? So, for all the trolls, oh, you're stupid. You mean you got to sue? You just think of all kinds of excuses to get away from telling the truth. Well, petition for release of custodial law enforcement. I wonder what that could be. I wonder what that petition right there could be. If it's In the next thing will be, well, you just made that up. It's exhausting. The people that have been on my channel long enough, I've shown you how to do this time and time again. I've shown you the whole process of going in there and recording the process and filling it out and getting the subpoenas and delivering myself. It's just like I went to the end deliver it yesterday. She's like, well, she said, I can't do nothing with this. I said, no, ma'am, you take it, make a copy of it, you sign it that you received it and give me back. She didn't even sign it. I was like, but you have to sign it when you give it back to show that you received it. She wouldn't even sign it. So I don't have proof that I gave it to her. Except I have to get the, God, that's one thing I forgot to do yesterday. I wanted to get the Sally Port video and the tank video, the ID video, and the magistrate video. I got to go back, dadgummit, I got to go back Monday and get that. I don't know if I have to get a court order for that. I may, but I may not. But I want to get the video of inside the jail when that cop was lying to the magistrate. The dude was lying. I'm sitting there listening. There's a wall right here, and there's 3 magistrate windows here, and I'm sitting on the bench, chained to the ground. And I'm sitting here, and he's on the other side of this thing, lying his ass off. He's just lying. He's telling lie after lie after lie to the magistrate. I'm like, dude, tell the truth. He's like, shut up. You gotta be quiet. And then he looks at the magistrate. I just can't hear you. I just can't hear you. It's the amount of lies that came out of his mouth. That body camera footage it's going to be golden. And what I mean by lies is they train law enforcement officers that your report and your testimony to the magistrate is some of the 2 most important things. You have to be very, very thorough. But a lot of cops, they're not thorough because they're too busy trying to spin their narrative the way they want it. See, they'll exaggerate. Oh, I asked him 5 or 6 times about this. They'll exaggerate into 5 or 6 times when it's maybe 1 or 2. So, I mean, it's just like resisting. Oh, and this is the word that he told the magistrate. He was fidgeting, and he stiffened up. So, if I go and I look at the code for resisting, is it fidgeting and stiffened up? When you pull on a man with severe fibromyalgia, when somebody goes to push you over, you stiffen up. When you're trying to keep your balance, you stiffen up. It wasn't that I went, you ain't going to get me, because that didn't happen. He did not like my speech, and my words either pissed him off, which it did, or it scared him. That's the 2 options. It pissed him off or it scared him. But it wasn't resisting because I can speak. I can speak. Sorry, I can speak. So, anyway, for the trolls out there, you came to the wrong one. My subscribers will tell you, this is the wrong tree for you to be barking up. Because everything I say, I can back up with facts. I can back up with proof. He's a tinfoil hat wearer. Tinfoil hat. Really? Tinfoil hat? And I got a lot of videos. I got pictures of my injuries, my bruises. I don't bruise easy. You guys have seen me. I don't bruise easy, and I've got bruises on me. I should have took them yesterday because they were a lot worse yesterday. I'm really, this messed me up. I knew before he pulled me when that drone wasn't in the sky, I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew it. So, and there's a lot of different ways to go about this. Either the cops put him on me, like his higher ups, the police union put him on me, or the ones I've been exposing, BlackRock, put him on me. Because, see, if he interrupts my life and he gets me on this right here, I don't have the time or the energy to be talking about BlackRock, the weather weapons, and what they're doing to the people in North Carolina, murdering them, killing them. And now they keep trying to squash the numbers of those dead down. So if I'm tied up in this lawsuit and I ain't got money and I ain't got time to keep moving forward, exposing the weapons being used on innocent American citizens that they've used around the world, now they're using here. If I ain't got time to expose that because I'm wrapped up in a BS lawsuit, in a BS case that's going to take away my freedom, then that's a win-win for them. But I don't break the law, okay? I'm not going to break the law. Unfortunately, in America, there are over 44,000 laws on the books, and it's made to do one of 2 things. It's made to extort you, well, one of 3 things. Extort you, cage you, or kill you. That's America. We have one of the most fascist governments in the world. We are not free. If you've got to ask the government and pay the government permission to feed yourself, you are not free. If you go to jail for collecting rainwater, you are not free. And if you get jerked out of your truck, slammed against a car extremely hard, and then your legs swept and slammed almost on your head when you're handcuffed over a cop's not seeing a tag on the back of your truck, you live under fascism. Period. Okay? Fascism. When I'm the injured party and I go to the hospital and the nurse is mocking me because she's part of the system too, you live under fascism. And it's only going to get worse. I just don't understand what it will take for the American people, those on the right, to say, wait a second, this is out of hand. I thought that under COVID, when mothers were at parks getting locked up for having their children on a slide, I thought they'd wake up. I thought under COVID, when a stand-up board or whatever they're called, when that guy was out surfing in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California, and they sent out they sent out boats, the police department boats, and the Coast Guard to arrest the guy for doing the best social distancing he could do. You live under fascism. When children as little as 6 and 7 years old are in school yelling and screaming, and cops show up and put handcuffs on them. In a case 2 years ago of a black cop in North Carolina, I think maybe Charlotte, where he body slammed an 8-year-old kid that was handcuffed. When you got 8-year-old kids being handcuffed in school, being body slammed by cops, you live under fascism. You can put a pretty bow on it and say, call it anything you want to. America is not free. It was more than apparent during the hurricane. I didn't see a state trooper one all up and down this roads. I didn't see a state trooper. I didn't see a Longview police officer. I didn't see a Hickory police officer. I didn't see them anywhere. But as soon as the lights were turned on, the roads were open, and traffic was back to normal, cops were everywhere again. One at the top of my road sitting up there ready to write tickets. The very day it opens up, they're out there. But were they out here using chainsaws, clearing out roads? Were they out here helping little ladies, checking on people, knocking on doors, make sure everyone's safe? Didn't happen where I'm at. I didn't see it happen. I didn't see them anywhere. So it is what it is. Pray for me, guys. This is going to be... I don't want this. I didn't want this. I've been pulled over a lot of times, and 99% of the time, I'm cool. I'm calm. I didn't even try. Well, I mean, my phone was almost dead. It had 7% because I was listening to my preaching all day. I wasn't even going to record because I didn't commit a crime. I was like, well, it'd be different if I was speeding or I didn't have a seatbelt on or something stupid. But I knew I wasn't committing a crime. I had a bad feeling. I should have been more prepared. I should have had a video recording of it, and I just didn't. Even the best of us, because recording isn't second nature to me. I know how to hold a cell phone 3 feet from my face, okay? But when you're in the moment, the worst thing to do is just like a person that, what's the disease? People that have seizures and a strobe light. It sets them off and it causes a seizure. The same thing with flashing lights. It affects me. It splits me down the middle. It cuts off one side of me, and all I know is panic. All I know is I'm in fight or flight mode. And I know as long as these cops are wearing those costumes they're wearing and they got the gun on their side, there's a police union that's going to back them when they murder me. So I can't fight. I've got to let them beat me and try to minimize the damage by just holding as tight as I can. And that's not resisting, but trying to stabilize myself so when that blow happens, I can minimize the damage to me. And I am lucky when he swept my legs. And I mean, he full force kicked my legs. And at the same time he kicked my legs, he was holding my hands, slammed me down on the ground. He wanted to hurt me. Period. He came in hot because he was ready to hurt me. Now, when I get the radio communication and I hear what was said, it's going to expose a whole lot more. But he came in hot and he escalated everything to the top when it wasn't even there. I was a foot from getting in the car. All he had to do was open the door and let me in. But see, even that wasn't good enough. He had to keep trying to force me, keep trying to push me. I'm an old man. I move slow. And if I don't get in that car right, I'm gonna fall out on the ground, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, you was trying to get away." I just don't move fast. I'm old and my body's freaking broken. I mean, I show you guys this every day. My body is shot. So when you got a 22-year-old kid trying to make a freaking name, well, I'll take that son of a bitch down. I'll show him I'm not gonna back down. Then when you get somebody with an ego like that is willing to hurt you, to force his will on you, that's the most dangerous situation. Because these guys with a big ego think very small of themselves. Guys with big egos think very small of themselves. So they're louder, they're more physical, and they're more forceful. And they have a shorter fuse. Because how dare you question my authority? I'm confident in me. That's why I don't have to be that person. I don't have to be forceful. But they know I've got severe PTSD. They know it. And they do everything in the world to trigger it. Because any cop up there that's giving me respect, I give them respect. But when you come up me with some BS, I just can't. I'm old school. I can't respect someone I know that's trying to hurt me and my family. So anyway, again, targeted citizen proves the trolls wrong. In North Carolina, you have to sue for body camera footage. You can Google it. I tried to type the law. As soon as I typed it and I walked away from it, I went back and I looked at it. I said, yep, they hacked it again. There's a letter off on my description. So then they'll say I was making it up again. So, petition for release of Kentucky Law Enforcement Agency recording GS 132-1.4A F in parentheses. See you.